American Swahili News and Swahili Villa Online TV, we do have a special edition program this afternoon or this evening in East Africa, Central Africa, and Africa just in general. Yesterday, we had an opportunity to interview three gentlemen from First St. Kitts and Nevis. These are the islands in Caribbeans, and also we had an opportunity to talk and speak with the John Bosco from Burkina Faso. This is the country from West Africa. And last week we spoke with Denzel Sant Hill, and this is the young man from Guyana. And both of these young men, these are considered the future leaders in all these areas just have just alluded to you. We had a very healthy conversations with them. And let me start it by introducing myself. This is the Dr. Patrick Nigula with the Good Morning Africa show. I had this in an interview yesterday just to learn about this young man who are visiting here in Columbia, South Carolina for 4 days training. They will meet different leaders, local leaders from both political parties, Democratic Party, and also Republican Party. So the interview, we conducted this interview in English, and probably today during our regular show, the Good Morning Africa, what I will do, I will interpret the conversations that I had with these three gentlemen, Mario Philip, John Bosco, and Denzar Sant Hill. So welcome to a show and listen to the conversations. And this is how the conversations with them went just like this.
Mr. Mario. Mr. Mario, he's visiting Columbia, South Carolina, and he's going to introduce himself. And welcome, Mr. Mario.
Thank you so much. My name is Mario Philip, and I'm from the Caribbean nation of St. Kitts and Nevis. We are very unique and tiny nation in the Eastern Caribbean, and we are known for our good food. It's the perfect place to honeymoon, to visit, and to live. And so shout out to the 50,000 people who live in St. Kitts and Nevis. It's the best place in the world. And I am happy to be here in Columbia, South Carolina, of course, on this exchange program with the U.S. Department of State, the International Visitor Leadership Program. It has been an awesome privilege for me as a young person to come and visit the U.S. and learn about, especially the U.S. political system, government, and also to meet my peers from around the world. There's some 18 of us, and just to share how we operate in our different spheres relating to government and politics, and the challenges that we face, and sharing ideas and getting to know each other. And we are, of course, benefiting from this experience.
You have mentioned that you're from a very small country.
Yes.
And the population is just only
50,000. Yes,
plus.
yes. Mm-hmm.
And you have mentioned one of the unique about your islands, about people that can come for honeymoon.
Yes.
What else do you have from where you from St. Kitts and Nevis, right?
Yes, yes. Yes. So we, as I mentioned our good food. We have one of the best tourism products in the Caribbean region and in the world, I would say. Mm-hmm. And as you reiterated, my nation, especially Nevis, is rated as one of the top and most luxurious honeymoon destinations in the world. Mm-hmm. And so if you're doing it for the first time or the second time or doing it again with the same person,
wow,
that come to St. Kitts and Nevis. But we are known for our our warmth, not only in the warmth of the pleasant and ever-present sunshine, but the warmth of the people. We are known for some peculiar history and natural features. Like in Nevis, there is the hot springs that is said to heal certain ailments and so on. So a visit in St. Kitts and Nevis is a visit in luxury and paradise. So you and good food, and so you don't want to miss it.
Can you
Yes.
can you give us just the one of the cuisine or the food from St. Kitts and Nevis, the most popular dishes that the people when they visit your islands they pretty much enjoy it.
Yes, well, I can't choose just one, but I'll say
Just
some of my
one.
favorites probably goat water,
Oh, wow.
is something that you can't miss. Johnny cake and saltfish is a simple
Ooh.
dish, but it is very delicious. And the Johnny cakes or fried dumplings have to have coconut, right? The coconut Johnny
Coconut.
cakes. Yes.
Coconut cakes.
Yes.
So you have mentioned that the one of the things that is very interesting about these gatherings, that program that you have here in Colombia, South Carolina, about you guys. You're here to learn about politics, like
Yes.
the government
Mhm.
and politics.
Yes.
And you're involved in politics if you're involved with youth. Is that right?
Yeah.
How is the political, I can say, outlook of St. Kitts and Nevis at this moment?
Yeah, so you're very correct. This cohort of the International Visitor Leadership Program, our program is entitled "Not Too Young to Run," right? And I love the emphasis on youth and young people's involvement in politics. As a youth and gender advocate, I always lobby and advocate for spaces for young people to share their ideas, to develop ideas, and have room to determine their own future, as well as I do the same thing for women. And a lot of the gender work that I do involving women and minority groups on the island of Nevis in particular, right? So the political outlook in St. Kitts and Nevis, we are a democratic society, and so our elections have been pretty regular, and also the transition of power from one regime to another has been quite smooth. There has been some, with any growing nation, we are just 40 years old. So with any growing nation, there's some moments where you consider constitutional crisis, what will happen now. But we have, by God's grace and the will of our people to remain peaceful and true to our democratic values, we've been able to have this smooth transition of power each and every time, and abiding by the laws of the land, right, that govern our people, right? So in St. Kitts and Nevis, we are a constitutional monarchy. We are a federal system. There is the federal government for the whole country, and then Nevis has its island administration, right? So headed by the premier of Nevis. Federal government headed by the prime minister. The monarchy part of our government, King Charles is king of St. Kitts and Nevis.
So you're
right?
still under the
Well,
United Kingdoms, right?
no, we're not under the United Kingdom. We share the same monarch with them, so we are not under them. We have the same person as our head of state. That's the extent of it. And we have a governor general who lives in St. Kitts and Nevis who represents the monarch, right? So that's the structure that we have. It's a parliamentary system, as I mentioned. First past the post. So there are some 11 constituencies in the federal government, right? So we are very small, so just 11. And then on Nevis, there are 5 districts for the Nevis Island administration.
Wow, that's a very good education about where you're from.
Yes,
Returning to Africa, this is my last question.
Did we leave Africa? Because we consider ourselves Africa in the diaspora,
African
right?
in the diaspora.
As the song says, no matter where you come from, as long as you're a black man, you're an African.
Absolutely. Okay, so there is this notion that has been going on for years now here in America, returning to Africa. What is your thought about that? Returning to Africa, is the people from where you're from St. Kitts and Nevis, considering maybe They want to return to Africa. Take
But
us home with respect to that.
well, with the Pan African movement, started or popularized by Marcus Garvey, right, in the early part of the 1900s, early 1900s. Um, that out of that would have come one of the major influences of our time, the Rastafarian movement, right? And we have Rastafarian in St. Kitts and Nevis. They are also influential and contribute to our culture and also the ideology, the popular thinking in the island, in the islands. So with that respect, I think everybody would have heard about, the going back to Africa.
Yes,
And, even the song that I just alluded to,
Absolutely.
the popular Jamaican songs, reggae artists and so on, has popularized that. Whether I wouldn't say, though, that in St. Kitts and Nevis that we have that ambition on a large scale to return to Africa, like to move to Africa. But in recent years, with global globalization, with the world becoming smaller, and with travel and so on being more efficient, there has been the recognition of the necessity to reach out to the motherland, right, to become closer in our ties, in terms of trade and just getting to know each other again, I should say, right, because we would have come from Africa. And so that closeness, no matter where else we may look to in the world, we would not have the same relationship that we have with Africa, right? And
Sure.
that's one of the things that I would hope that my people, especially the young people, as we talk about governance and political ideology and so on, that we realize that we have there's a future in Africa, even for the Caribbean, in terms of the connection, diplomatic relations that we share.
So let me ask you the last word now, with respect to your visit here in the United States of America, particularly here in Columbia, South Carolina.
Yes.
What do you think about your visit, and everything that you have experienced since, I think it's July 20th, when
Yes.
you started this program in Washington D.C. Take us home.
Yes. So I think so far we haven't even gotten to the halfway mark yet, but it has been a great trip. The sessions that we have had, the places that we visited, the U.S. Congress, or I should say the U.S. Capitol, and the different institutions and persons from them that represent them that we have encountered, it has really, opened our minds, opened my mind for sure. We would have met, even this morning, had sessions with election officials from the state of South Carolina, and also someone from the Democratic Party will be meeting tomorrow. Yes, but also there was another representative who is working on the grassroots movements in the party. He's in the party executive, and also we'll be meeting with a Republican as well tomorrow. So to really get a grasp of the political structure and mechanisms here in the U.S., both in Washington at the federal level and now in the states, and also the local level. It has really been an eye-opener. The session with Bakari was a great one. Knowing he was so young when he entered politics,
Absolutely.
and that would have given us perspective and insight and new drive and vision as well. And so it has been a splendid experience. Seeing different places, meeting different people, but also expanding our horizons, and we're able to look at things differently and see what would work in our context when we return home. So
Thank you, Mr. Mario, for taking your time speaking with
Yes.
American Swahili News and Swahili Online TV. Thank you, sir.
thank you.
Mr. Jane Bosco Richmond, Bossu, if I pronounce it right.
Yes.
Welcome to American Swahili News and Swahili Online TV.
Thank you.
And I had an opportunity to meet since yesterday, I can say, Mr. Bosco here in Colombia.
Right.
And Mr. Bosco is from Burkina Faso, right?
Sure.
Tell me just a little bit about where you're from, the population, who's your leader.
Okay.
Welcome to our show.
Okay, thank you very much. And thank you for giving me that opportunity to speak about my country and to also tell about Burkina Faso. It's true, I'll try my best to perform in English.
No, you can you can speak. Je parle la français.
Okay. Thank you very much. So
Uh-huh.
I'm from Burkina Faso, which is a West African country, precisely located in the center of West Africa, with a population of 22 million. And our current president is a soldier, because we have military leading the power since the last 2 years up to now. And his name is Ibrahim Traore. Ibrahim Traore. He's the one trying really to
change the political
yes, and to change things in the country, because see, I think for the last 10 years, the country is going through a certain hardship due to terrorism, and things are really not good right now. So he's trying his best, to overcome that war, and I hope that we shall win. We shall win by God's grace.
Absolutely. I know you speak fluently in French,
right?
And
Sure.
Can you just make just the short sentences, the same thing that you just alluded? You just talked a few minutes ago with me. Welcome. Speak in French. Talk to my audience in French.
Ok, alors donc moi je suis Bosso Richmond Jean Bosco. Alors donc je suis président de l'organisation Gondwana Rise. Je suis aussi activiste de la société civile. Et voilà, donc je suis aussi conseiller en renforcement des capacités des jeunes en process politique et en engagement démocratique. Je suis du Burkina Faso, un pays de l'Afrique de l'Ouest, un super pays, voilà, situé au centre de l'Afrique de l'Ouest, qui est un pays sahélien. Voilà, et présentement, notre président qui dirige le pays, c'est bien sûr le capitaine Ibrahim Traoré. C'est vrai que depuis un peu plus de 10 ans, le pays traverse une situation très difficile. Voilà, nous faisons face à une crise liée surtout au terrorisme, et qui est vraiment une difficulté qui meurtrit des familles. Et j'ai eu une pensée pieuse à eux, à tous ceux qui nous ont quittés depuis que nous subissons vraiment ce malheur-là. Et je pense que dans l'ensemble, le pays du Burkina Faso et les Burkinabés sont très résilients. Nous avons de l'espoir. Nous engageons le combat avec les autorités du moment. Voilà. Et vous savez, comme tout pouvoir dans sa gestion, il y a forcément, voilà, des hauts et des bas. Voilà, il y a ces efforts que nous saluons tous mutuellement et qui vont dans le sens de mener à bien la guerre et d'engranger des victoires. Et la situation évolue, certes, et oui, nous l'apprécions, mais il y a aussi des difficultés que nous rencontrons naturellement sur certains domaines que nous travaillons à parfaire au sein de notre pays. Et je l'espère bien, nous aurons des résultats probants d'ici là. En tout cas, le jeune capitaine Ibrahim Traoré, qui est à la tête du pays, se bat autant qu'il le peut. Et nous espérons bien que d'ici là, nous parviendrons à vaincre ce fléau qu'est le terrorisme et à redonner de l'espoir, et redonner du sourire à ces millions de Burkinabés-là qui n'ont nulle part où aller. Et nous n'avons qu'un seul pays, nous devons le préserver, nous devons rester ensemble. On doit se battre afin que le Burkina reste le Burkina, afin que le Burkina reste debout. C'est un combat commun. Et ma présence ici à Columbia, voilà, est du fait d'un programme qui a été initié par le département d'État américain, lequel programme est le IVLP, le programme des visiteurs internationaux, qui a débuté le 20 juillet dernier. Nous avons commencé par Washington, là où nous avons passé en gros une semaine à découvrir les institutions des États-Unis, à rencontrer des autorités américaines, à partager des expériences, à apprendre un peu de leurs institutions et aussi à échanger avec eux sur les réalités que nous vivons en Afrique. Nous venons de plusieurs pays qui prennent part à ce programme. C'est un programme multirégional. Voilà. Et moi, je suis du Burkina Faso. j'ai mon frère John Pambalou qui est de la Tanzanie. On en a qui sont de l'Allemagne, voilà, un de l'Australie, un des îles Saint-Kitts et Nevis. Nous avons aussi de la Guyane, du Brésil, du Mexique, du Costa Rica, Pakistan, Irak. Il y a tellement de pays. Il y a le Palau aussi. Et voilà, donc dans l'ensemble, il y a l'Afrique du Sud. Voilà, nous sommes 3 de l'Afrique. Donc, nous participons à ce programme dans cette perspective-là. Et l'étape de Columbia est une autre étape qui nous a permis d'échanger pour la journée d'aujourd'hui avec des personnalités de l'État de Caroline du Sud. Voilà, notamment sur tout ce qui est process démocratique et tout ce qui est process électoral. Tout ce qui est process de gestion de la communication politique. Et voilà, c'était vraiment, nous avons échangé avec l'un des plus jeunes représentants de l'État de Caroline, voilà, et M. Bakary Sellos. Et nous avons aussi échangé avec des experts, voilà, chargés de l'organisation des élections ici. Je pense que dans l'ensemble, hein, ce que nous apprenons ici, une fois de retour dans nos pays, nous permettra bien sûr voilà, d'améliorer les choses dans notre pays, de pouvoir apporter notre contribution, bien sûr, à l'amélioration générale et globale de la situation de nos citoyens et aussi de l'ensemble même de l'économie du pays. Okay. Voilà. Donc, vraiment, c'est une très belle expérience qui va continuer encore à Kansas City. Après, ici, nous partons, moi, je pars à Kansas. Et après Kansas, on se retrouve encore à Seattle, dans l'État de Washington. Et je pense que c'est une belle occasion que nous saluons d'ailleurs. Et je remercie de passage l'ambassade du Burkina Faso et l'ambassade des États-Unis au Burkina. Je remercie aussi le département d'État américain qui a bien voulu nous faire profiter de cette opportunité, voilà, qui est l'une des plus prestigieuses, voilà, de l'État américain.
Thank you very much. I know you have covered a lot of areas.
Yes, right.
From politics
sure.
to government to the president, who's the current president of Burkina Faso.
Of course.
What exactly is doing great for your nation for the past 2 years since he took over the country as a young man and a military man who's decided to dedicate his leadership for the betterment of the people of the Burkina Faso. So you're an activist. This is my last questions, and then you're going to take us home. Tell us in short, in English now, the whole program now. What do you think about these programs? Is this your first time to come to America?
Yes, this is my first time to come to America, to the United States of America. But this program is really awesome program because we all attend here in the capacity to learn, to share, and also return in our countries to be able to implement some ideas that we got here that can be useful and helpful to our country. What we have had here, like opportunities and relationship, I think we will use it us back in our countries so that we can build something strong and we can also contribute. For the concern of my country, the current president is trying his best. As you know, the situation of my country is really not easy. We are facing terrorism, and that's a big matter for us. I know that now our economy resources are focused on the investment for the war. You know, we just invest a lot in getting weapons, invest a lot in getting tankers, trucks. It's really not easy, but we're trying our best. It's true also that the civil society organizations are facing a kind of hardship, you know, because military powers are really not soft with activists. Some of them are in jail, and I cannot afford to forget them. And I hope that in the days coming, in the month coming, the power leading my country, the captain leading my country will also
release them.
Release them. So that's I really advocate for that also. It's true when we are in such a situation, we need the support of everyone.
multinational
Yes,
support.
yes, of everyone. So we can't afford to put some part of the citizen beside. No, we gotta put everyone together, put hand together, and try to lift up the country and try to lift that light of hope. See, because the population is really suffering. People are dying, and we really need to be together, gather as one, you know, to face this situation. That is the way I can express it my
Absolutely.
best.
Thank
in
you
English.
thank you very much. I know you have
You're
tried.
welcome.
You have tried. You speak fluently in French. Congratulations for
Thank
that.
you very
And
much.
also, you're doing very well in English.
Oh, thanks a lot.
You find it very, very, very hard to find some people that can speak two languages.
It's really not easy.
From Africa. Okay,
Yes.
well, thank you very much again for speaking with American Swahili News and
Thank
Swahili
you.
Villa Online
Thank you.
TV. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. You're welcome. Sure.
First, introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Denzel Carlisle St. Hill, and I'm the General Secretary for the Movement for Unity and Democracy in Guyana. Guyana is actually in South America. For those who would like to know, we're located on the northeastern shoulder of that continent. My work started when I was 18 years old in the political arena as a young person coming into the thing. I must say I never liked politics. I always wanted to be a neurosurgeon. However, I saw that there was a greater need to have more young people involved
In politics.
In politics, correct. And I decided, hey, I was weighing between the two, neurosurgeon or a politician. And when I do, I say I can save a life as a neurosurgeon, but I can touch and have a majority impact on many other lives as a politician and a leader of the people.
Well, and you introduced yourself that you started politics at a very young age, and you've just alluded things that they have motivated you to enter into the politics. Share with us a little bit about the politics in Guyana. A lot of people, they confuse Guyana with the Ghana.
Yes.
Okay, so we know Guyana is in Central America.
South America.
South America. I'm sorry.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Okay, tell us a little bit the process that you guys, your political party, that is going through now.
Okay, our political party started in 2023 during the local government election. At first, it was just an idea, but then we realized what our people are actually facing with the two major political parties. Those parties have existed since in the early 1950s. And over the years, it was a constant thing about both of them come with different ideas, but in actuality, they were actually the same party. And then it started to take on a toll on people. And we decided, hey, when the election was held in 2020, we had one of the longest elections in the world, 5 months. We realized that leadership is lacking in our National Assembly. And it motivated us to form that movement, a movement of the people, for the people and by the people. And since then, we participated in our local government election. When I was appointed General Secretary of the movement, I was also given the responsibility of Chief Political and Chief Policy Officer. Additionally, campaign manager during that election, and I was only 23 years old. So at first it was kind of daunting on me, and it was at the same time I knew I had to accept those responsibilities. We went into the local government election, and we were we were the only small political parties that ever got in a seat at the local government election. The reason for that, I believe that we had to move out of the norm from the major political parties and think outside of the box. And I started to do that. And then I realized the people or the electorate was much more receptive to that position, because it speaks difference. And that is one thing that I stand for, and the members of our movement stand for as well.
Well, so you guys now, you just want your political party. What's the name of your political party in Guyana? Because the American Swahili News listeners and the viewer, they would like to know and search and follow your steps. Probably some of these countries in Africa or in Tanzania, in Kenya, and elsewhere. Tell us a little bit about the name of your political party.
So the name of our political party is the Movement for Unity and Democracy. If you know Guyana, there's a division that is there, but most of our leaders don't want to accept it. That's where unity step in. We believe that we bring the recipe for unity, and that is what we're using. Hence why unity is in the name, and we're trying to push that among our people. We're a nation of 6 peoples that makes up one great population. And we always believe that in everything we do, there must be a united front. Either as a nation, we can't just wait when there is a major issue affecting our country, like our border controversy, when we should be united. Unity must be on the forefront. And then there's democracy. We believe in the rule of law and rule of the people. And in anything we do, there should be a democratic process. There must be a process of representation. There must be a process of consultation. There must be a process whereby the decisions that the leaders in our nation will be making, it should involve the people. Because at the end of the day, the ticket to government is the people. And if we don't respect the people, then for me, it's not the democracy. But people can argue against that, because democracy is a very wide
broad
term,
yes.
But that's my understanding of democracy. And then the movement came in because it is a political party that is for the people and by the people. We cannot do anything unless the people give us that mandate.
Got you. So the last question here is, where do you see yourself in 5 years from now? Because you just turned 24 years old,
yes,
and you're seriously involved in politics in Guyana. Walk us through in that path.
I see myself, or I must say the group see itself into government. That is our prime objective. But before we form the executive, I want to take it step by step. I believe that in order to become president or form the executive, you must understand those stages, within life. And in politics, there are stages. So it's like a staircase. You must be able to climb that staircase. You can't start at the bottom and then you want to go straight to the top. It doesn't work like that. You must understand as a leader, it is your responsibility, because once you start climbing that staircase, you will realize that this board is loose and the people can't climb, because remember, you're at the front. So it's your responsibility to nail that. And that's what we're trying to do. We're preparing for the general and regional elections next year November, and we want to enter that. But we don't want to form the executive. We want to have seats in the National Assembly, because from there, that is where major decisions are made. And I believe that once we are there in the National Assembly, we'll be able to effect change, because we have a representative approach to a number of issues. And once we're there, we'll be able to have some form of comfortability when it comes to the decisions that are made in the highest house.
What is your last word?
My thing is more centered around young people. I know we're at a stage in this world whereby we're seeing that our political leaders are deviating from what they actually stand for. But don't allow that to discourage you. Because if I would have allowed that to discourage me, I wouldn't have been here today, being the youngest in my party, leading people who are older than me. You have to remain focused. Remember the ultimate goal. It is for yourself and for the future of your children and dear children and dear children. So you can't just sit idly by. You have to be motivated to keep pushing and fighting for something. Because I have one saying, you must, if you don't fight for something, then you lose everything. So that's my word to young people at home and abroad.
Thank you very much for speaking with American Swahili News and Swahiliville Online TV. And then I'm looking forward, maybe we will catch up with you or we'll meet again next time when you visit Columbia, South Carolina.
Yes, definitely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I love you. Send me some money, man. You can always fundraise. Well, we need to regulate it. It needs to be more heavily regulated. And Zara, do you need like a refill on your that's what you said.
So, can you tell me how you found the show?
Oh, okay.
I actually introduced it to family.
Right. Thank you. Very good. I really like it. It reminds me that I was in Idaho. Because we didn't have any other
Tumefikia mwisho wa show yetu ya siku hii ya leo, na hapa tu niseme ndio tunarudisha kidogo hapa. Ndipo tumefikia mwisho wa kipindi chetu hiki cha leo cha special edition, kama nilivyoanza mwanzo wa kipindi hiki maalum kabisa katika siku hii ya leo. Kwa hiyo twendeni tukasambaze upendo kama siku tunaotumia neno hili katika kipindi chetu cha Good Morning Africa. Mtangazaji wenu wa siku zote wa Good Morning Africa, Dr. Patrick Ndula.